first off, in case I'm not sure if everyone here realizes, but Beautiful Boy, the film, is based on 2 memoirs, correct? Your father's memoir, Beautiful Boy, as well as yours, Tweak. And it looks at your journey with addiction from each of your different perspectives. Can you talk about how that project began and why you all wanted to tell your story?
Yeah, sure, of course, thank you. And thank you guys all for being here. I super appreciate it. I know there's, just a lot of movies coming out now and a lot of indie movies and really great movies. So just the more that we can kind of spread the word about this, I just super appreciate that. It was kind of an amazing process for me and my family, the way this movie got made. The books came out, Beautiful Boy and Tweak came out about 10 years ago, and we met with a producer from Plan B Productions, and he talked to us about the idea of combining both books into making a movie. And because I guess when the books came out, it was really an amazing thing. Like, it really felt like through kind of sharing our stories and being so open, it kind of like seemed like it allowed other people to kind of do that too. And we got to go around the country and talk to people about about addiction and about family, and it just felt like other people were able to share their stories with us too, and it was kind of amazing. So we hoped that the movie could just do that on like a bigger scale. But it was a long process once we decided to sort of trust this producer to find like the right team to come together. And it wasn't until we met the director, Felix van Groeningen. He's a Belgian guy, and that's kind of how you pronounce his name. And and then Timothée Chalamet and Steve Carell, that we felt like we really found like the right kind of fit to tell the story in the most authentic way that it could be told.
Wow. So this project's been in the making for 10 years then?
Yeah, for 10 years.
Wow.
With Felix, it's been about 4 years. There was some, like I said, it was really, because for my dad and I, like, we really wanted to trust the people that we were giving our story to, and it was, it just needed to be sort of the right combination. And I know my dad felt this way when he met Steve, but for me, meeting Timothée, it just was so apparent so quickly that he was just, all he wanted was to do this in the right way. And he just wanted to, tell this story and be like as completely real as possible and not rely on addiction cliches. And that from that first meeting, like the way that the questions he asked and his commitment, I just felt immediately comfortable. Like this was the person that I wanted telling the story.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought up Timothée because I had a question about him because I was reading one of the interviews he did about the film, and he said that at first he was very hesitant to play a real-life person, that he was really nervous about it, but after he met you is when he decided, okay, I want to take this project on. So can you talk about, how much involvement you had in selecting who portrayed you, and what did you say to persuade Timothée to join the project?
It was really Felix, the director, that, like I said, like once we kind of trusted the people involved, then it was really like, okay, we're gonna. All right, yeah, is that better? Yeah. Okay. Once we kind of trusted the people involved, it sort of felt like, okay, we're gonna like let them make the movie that they want to make. And so it was really Felix that found Timothée. But like I said, yeah, meeting him, I could tell he was nervous, of course, because I think it was really scary for him to play a real person, and I know he really cared what I thought and what my dad thought.
You got this, right?
Thank you. But yeah, so anyway, I will say that he's got just this incredible intelligence, and he's so like just committed to every role that he plays. I feel like he dives into it so completely that it's amazing when I finally watched the movie. To me, what it felt like was one of the most realistic portrayals of addiction that I've ever seen on film. Everything from the mannerisms to the the sort of volatility, like it all just felt like watching a version of myself on the screen. It was amazing. It's was is, like you said, like there's been a lot of great addiction movies that really like delve into the just sort of the super like downward spiral of like all the horrible things that happen when someone becomes addicted. But for me, I mean, the thing was my family was just caught in this cycle for years where, you know, I would get some time clean and I would feel a little bit better, but then things would like start to slow down, and I would, I think one of the amazing things about the movie is you really see, and I felt this way for sure with myself, was every time I would kind of reach out to the drugs again, it wasn't because I was wanting to like have fun or party or whatever, it was always because I was in a lot of pain, and I would reach out to the drugs to try to feel better because it was the only thing that I'd ever really known that had made me feel better. And then once I started, the phenomenon of craving would start, and I just couldn't stop. And so trying to portray that cycle, I think, was really difficult because it is sort of repetitive, and it was our lives for, you know, 10 years with my family having hope that things were going to get better, and then I would end up relapsing, and we would go through it all over again. But I think the cool thing that Felix did with the movie too is he really tried to sort of structure the film in the way that like memory works. And you know, I remember when I was writing Tweak, like for instance, that scene in the coffee shop or the cafe where I meet, or well, Timothée meets Steve to ask him for money. I mean, that was based on a real scene. And in my book, you know, I remember like writing about it, and it really was like trying to write about that moment where I was meeting my dad as like a person that was high on drugs, trying to get money, but I was also remembering like what it was like when I was a kid, and my dad and I had gone to that same coffee shop, and all the history of that we have together that's in every moment. And I think the way that they structured that is really kind of brilliant, because it does feel like the way that memory works, and I've not seen that really on screen before. I think it's kind of a brave choice that they made.
All right, so I'm going to open it up to the audience now. Oh, we got a hand so quick. Okay, go ahead. Project.
Yes, having your life story, you know, seen on the big screen, especially while you're still alive, is a rare thing. And right now, this time we've got your film and also Boy Erased, you know, intertwined, both of very, you know, delicate topics and very heartfelt topics, Oscar buzz and all of that. I'm curious, have you had a chance to talk with Garrett Connolly and share this kind of kindred, unique experience that's going on, and if so, have you found that helpful?
That's a super interesting question. No, I haven't seen Boy Erased yet, nor have I met him, but I'm really excited to see it, and I would love to meet him. I mean, the thing is, yeah, it's a super honor to have this happen. I mean, it feels like I just, you know, I really am trying to look at it as like a way of hopefully just like being of service as much as I